Hey guys, and welcome to game number 43 of my 100 game rematch series against the AI-powered Scrabble BestBot. Currently sitting 10 games back, 16 and 26. Not great, but still better than earlier this match. It was a very tough start. We've been getting some wins lately, which is good, and it's going to be a nice start today. Lots of bingos, AELLRT blank. I don't want to spend too much time here. Alertly seems fine enough here. Doesn't take any hooks. All the consonants next to each other make it hard to overlap. I say let's just do it and move along. And, alright, not a terrible draw, actually. It's a lot of D's and N's, but I can play something like kinda here and offload all of these pretty easily. Okay, she comes down. I mean, kind here. Kind or kinda? That's interesting. Do I want to play the A for 3 points? The A is definitely nice to balance out the two consonants. This is close. It's definitely close. Either of these plays do give back a double-double line now down the K column here. The A forces a second overlap, but it's a pretty easy overlap. It's really just a question of, is it worth 3 points to keep an A? I kind of think it is. I don't want to end up with way too many consonants. The A is a very good vowel, the N and the D. It's debatable. I'm going to sack the 3, though. I'm going to play kind. And now I'm very glad I did, because the A is really going to help me out here. I've got a lot of bingos, sideman, medians, medinas, and maidens, to be specific, with this rack. I don't think any of them are going to play next to kind. Sideman doesn't work with DI not being valid in this lexicon. So I don't actually know if any of my 7s play. Wait, do I have anything playable? I mean, I have medians. Alright, amidones, domains, daimons. There's nothing else through the T besides medians. Huh. Arrow doesn't take an S. There's nothing through an R, right? In arms plus an S? I don't think there's anything in that. So, I guess it's a matter of, yeah, amidones or... I mean, domains doesn't hit a double word, so it's amidones or daimons. I don't think it makes a huge difference, honestly. I don't know. I mean, they're both very, very similar. Probably amidones is a little bit harder to hit a big overlap with on the top. The alternating vowel consonant, I don't know. Maybe it's easier, actually. It's very hard to say. DAI is pretty easy to overlap, I feel like. AMI just feels a little bit tougher to get a huge play there. I'm not really sure if that's right. I might be completely wrong on that. I don't want to spend too much time here. Again, it's a fairly marginal difference. I'm just going to go ahead and play this and hope for the best. Okay. Ooh, that E. If that E were a few spaces to the left, I could play wheat meal. Disconnected through the T and the E. It's not whale meat, it's wheat meal. That would be fun to get down. I definitely incorrectly answered whale meat a couple times when I was first learning that 9. I do know, I've never personally had whale meat, but I do know that in certain parts of the world, it is actually a pretty large part of the cuisine, so whale meat certainly could be a word, but it is not. Like I said, wheat meal is the valid anagram. Where comes down, and I can play wham here for a lot, and I probably will. So yeah, in this case, amidone's actually paying off for me, as I happen to have a big overlap. I mean, that's 49. I could actually do whaler. That is a word. That's 48. So wham is one more. ALE versus AM. Both are fine. It's not the best board for bingoing. What's also nice about whaler, guys, actually, is it sets up big M plays here. Like, I can often hit a pretty solid M play for 35 on my next turn just to keep the scoring pressure on. So I'm kind of leaning towards whaler. I don't really need to be going for a bingo here. I'm going to be up 150 points. I think just trying to keep scoring makes the most sense. Like, ALE, sure, is more likely to bingo, but I'm kind of banking on hitting this T and alertly most likely, which is still not that likely. So I think I'm going to keep the M here. It's not like AM can't turn into a bingo either. It's still a good leave. But I think my point of doing this, then following it up hopefully with a big play down the N column, also blocking the E on the right, is a very good two-turn plan. I like it. I'm going to go for it. Alright, I can also live with drawing a blank, even if I Get some clunky consonants. Imbevert verbatim through the E should mostly lock this one up. Yeah, I've definitely been drawing all this game, but alright, well, BestBot is not going to go down without a fight. Locks my bingo. Ian scores 83. Okay. I still am in the driver's seat here. I'm still up a bingo and I have a blank, but it's not over yet. That is for sure. And what am I going to do now? Brave? Just to open it a little bit for my blank and get rid of the B and the V. Something with vein, maybe VAT. Keep the board a little more controlled. BMR blank is not bad. Could kind of see either one here. On one hand, opening it with the blank makes sense to just kind of go for the put away bingo. On the other hand, keeping it tighter makes sense. Force BestBot, who's down, to open the board and then at that point pounce. Pool is pretty balanced, 24 vowels, 30 consonants. Plenty of vowels left, so I'm not too concerned about running into consonant overload issues here. Yeah, there's just not a lot of great options. I think it's got to be between VAT and Brave. Brave is also 6 fewer points. MT versus BRM. The B and the R have pretty good synergy. I think I like, well, actually it's 5 less points, but I mean, I think this is honestly fine. I don't really want to give up a floating R. So I think I'll do this, and then, yeah, like I said, kind of encourage the bot to open, and hopefully if I can draw a vowel or two, I'll be able to counter with a bingo of my own on my next turn. I think this is a reasonable way to play this. Yeah, you could definitely make arguments for Brave here. I don't think Brave is a bad play, but I think at this score, given I have the blank, this makes sense. Okay. Second R is not great. I don't know if I'll actually have a bingo here. I might not. I don't actually see one right now. We'll see what the bot does on its next turn. We'll see if it does indeed open. Something like Bromel here seems reasonable. Scoring 20, keeping IR blank. Yeah, I'm in a position where if I can get one more bingo down, then I'll really be in good shape. Rife is the play for the bot. Alright, I probably want to do something about this. Even if I don't have a 7, which I'll look a little bit more for, but I don't think so. Something like Burr here, just to take out that hook. Take out potentially big plays on the right as well that maybe the bot is trying to go for. So, yeah. Burr or Biro. He has a lot of O's left. Maybe even Biro again. MR blank is fine here. I'm not too worried about consonant overload with balanced pool. So, yeah, Biro or Burr there. Let me just make sure I really don't have a bingo. I don't think so, though. It's a lot of clunky stuff. Almost bar room. But I'm really not seeing anything here, guys. That uses all 7 of my tiles. Ribworm is not good. It's just Ribwort. So, alright, yeah, I think I like Biro here. I mean, Burr does actually make the bottom right triple a little bit harder to use than the O there, just for stuff like Fox. It's not a huge consideration. Yeah, I don't know, MO versus MR. It's the last R, actually. I think I'll play Biro. Yeah, with 6 O's and no R's left, I think this has to be better. That triple consideration is not that big a factor at this point. Alright, Biro it is. Jeez. Guess I should have played Burr, and I would have had money in. Well, I didn't expect to draw 3 N's, I will say that much. That was definitely not my bingo card, drawing 3 N's with a 4-tile pool. Ouch. Alright, Ooze comes down. This one is definitely, I thought this was going to be a pretty clinical game. It's far from clinical now, all of a sudden. I mean, I still am in good shape. But that was not a good draw. What am I going to do now? Runny for 6? Bun for 7? Goodness. I have no idea here. I gotta get rid of 2 N's. I don't think there's any play here that doesn't get rid of 2 N's that scores enough to be worth considering. I mean, I could even trade and keep, like, RN blank. That seems like a little bit of an overreaction, but maybe not even. I mean, if my best plays here really score, like, 6. I don't know. Maybe I should just commit to the open board at this point. I'm not up enough and just play runny. Maybe I just do that at this point. Force it open. Just try to kind of force a bingo down with my blank. At this point, I'm not really up enough to, I think, try to keep it tight and play that tactic. I think I'm just going to do this. Yeah, let's just force this open. Okay. Still probably no bingos here. Yeah, it's interesting. Ever since I drew the blank, I've just been drawing Drek to go with it. I haven't really had much, but at least I'm still up 50 and I have the blank, so I still like my chances. But it's not nearly as comfortable as I expected it to be based on the start of this game. Yeah, I'm going to probably try to play Vum next turn or something like that. We'll see. Maybe Love. Depends what's open. It's not anything really. The problem is I don't have any tiles that go before AL. Alright, Utid for BestBot. Don't think that gives me a whole lot of good plays. I mean, I can't do something like this. That gives back too much. I need to get rid of this U. Uvula, keeping M in blank. I feel like I've been keeping M in blank, and it's just been going really badly. But I don't know what else I really have. I don't want to keep the U either. Uvula does take a lot of back hooks that I don't have. E, there's 4 E's left. Not dying to make that play. I mean, I could also just play Vum here for 13, keep ALN blank, which is very bingo prone. Maybe I just do that. Really ensure I bingo next turn, hopefully. That might make more sense. I mean, Uvula is only like 3 more anyway, so at that point, I think if I have a blank, maybe with a floating E, floating R, floating T, just at this point be like, alright, this has lasted long enough, let's just bingo already. I think that's reasonable. Yeah, I mean, the bot is getting uncomfortably close. I've just been scoring so few points these last couple of turns. I've been battling duplicated R's, N's, and U's, and triplicates in some cases and stuff. But yeah, I think Vum looks fine. I hate to only score 13, but it's hard for me to score more while keeping a palatable lead. So for better or worse, that is what I'm going to play. Alright, well that'll be a bingo at least, one way or another, surely. I mean, the question is, can I bingo to the T or the E? That'll probably be best. Or maybe a double-double through the U, actually. Let's think about the T first. Ethanols, anethols, or ethanols with an A don't work. Alright, well now I can also probably just bingo here. Yeah, I mean, the bot has already caught up, which is crazy. I mean, I can obviously play something like handles, but let's think about this. I have 10 minutes. Alright, let's start going through the alphabet. A, ethanols, no. B, no, let's not forget about this U either. Launches, lanches. It's not that great on the bottom. D is handles, Hansel, unlashed, Shetland. Alright. E is nothing. I don't think. F is nothing. G, H, I inhales. Nothing to the T. M, I don't think so. And halos. And halos at least puts a non-blank on the double letter. That's reasonable. R, enthralls. S, Hansels is also playable. T's, Hantles. Nathless through the T doesn't work. U, V, W. X, Y, Z. Alright, yeah, I think in Halos or maybe Hansels. The H is harder to bingo too. It's that 81. And Halos is, I guess, one more point. But I probably would, I don't know, that pull is pretty bad actually. Maybe I don't care about putting in either. I probably still do a little bit though, and I am taking the 90-point lead. I think it's worth it for 1 point to not put an E and also an N. Yeah, I mean, H and A are so hard to bingo through. I think for 1 point, it's worth giving that up. Yeah, is this really the best I can do? Nothing with mobs? Yeah, inhales doesn't work, and halos because of IL. Yeah, maybe nothing works. A little surprising. This just doesn't feel like the best play for some reason, but also I've spent like 2 minutes and I just am not seeing anything else, so I don't want to take forever here, guys. Let's do it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that pool is not good. Like, there's an S, but there's only one E now, 3 T's, 3 O's, J, P, P, X, G. It is not going to be that easy for the bot to bingo out of that pool. And I have a decent enough rack here that I can probably outrun a lot of bingos, especially bingos that aren't immediate and would empty the bag. The Y is a nice tile here, actually, because I can drop it here for like 30 at some point. So let's see what I'm going to want to do. Obviously, it depends a decent amount on what BestBot does here. I don't actually have any particularly great plays right now. I wouldn't mind playing like Eggy or Yeg or something, but I think most important is just to keep scoring. All right, Tour for 13. Interesting. I wonder what... Oh, it's setting up Store maybe with an S hook? Is that what it's doing? Possibly? Okay, I could see that. 8 in the bag. Oh, here's a... I don't think it's the right play. Here's a fun play, though. I don't think I want to keep FY with no vowels drawn into that pool, though. I could honestly see, like, this. I mean, where's BestBot bingoing if I play that? Maybe this, actually, to keep the Y for that other spot makes a little more sense. I mean, if the bot bingos to an H, then what can I say? It's maybe theoretically possible, but, like, it's so unlikely. Yeah, I mean, there are just no words that end in SG with store. I don't see where the bot... I mean, maybe it's going to end in an A, like... This just seems fine to me. I don't see how it's gonna bingo or force something open that I can't block. It seems pretty tough. Can I score a little bit more? Almost fidgety or something like that. There's really not a whole lot through this art. I mean, this is really just not a good rack, I think. It doesn't look that bad, but 2 G's make it pretty tough, to be honest. So yeah, I think Gay or GIF are both fine. Like I said, I think the Y is nice. I can often just draw into Yep for an easy 34. Just hard to come by on this board. So I'm going to stick with this. I think that's fine. Alright. Not the J. Well, that J is actually fine because I have Jeep now. Just to completely lock down the board. Alright, yeah, Tom makes sense. Just desperately trying to force the board open. But the problem is I have all 3 E's. So I can just... leave it alone, or I can just play Jeep over there. I mean, am I sure there's nothing to the H? I'm not positive. Something with like patch or something. I don't think there's anything. But it might not hurt just to play Jeep over there with an abundance of caution. I mean, I can even play it here. Well, maybe there's something I didn't know. I mean, honestly, this just wins. Why don't I just do that, right? I mean... It's literally impossible for BestBot to bingo right now. So I think this is perfectly fine. It might be overly cautious, but I would rather just secure the win. Like, this makes it truly impossible. There's nothing that fits between V and an IS. I mean, this just wins, guys. Like I said, I think let's just not stress about this one too much. Let's just take the win. Yeah, I mean, the bot has podcast. It is not going down anywhere here. So I might spend a little time trying to find the best endgame. I drew a GX. Yeah, some funky draws towards the end of this game for me, especially when I had that blank. I don't know. I feel like I might have missed something at some point. I don't feel that great about how I played this game, even though I won fairly, or will win fairly convincingly, but we'll see. Kind of a strange game after the bot bingoed with Kazuri. I was thinking it was just going to kind of be a bagging, but... And I guess it still kind of was a bagging. I got both blanks and... At least, I think 2 of the S's, so I drew well, but it wasn't a runaway backing like I thought it might be for a while. But it'll probably be about a 70-80 point win is my guess when all is said and done here. Once BestBot finishes permuting its endgame, I expect we'll see something with Jeeps, Maybe scad if pot goes out in 2 spots or something like that. Or maybe spat saving code to the E and Rifer. That looks pretty solid as well. I could see a number of things, but I expect to play with Jeeps. Also to block Oxy for me will come down. As for which one is best, yes, spat looks pretty solid right now. Saving code for a lot, and then code also on the bottom to the E and Ooze, although maybe... Yeah, because spat also sets up Doc. Yeah, spat looks really solid to me right now. I expect that's what we'll see from BestBot. I don't think code first makes a lot of sense, because then, like I said, I get Oxy down. But spat does give back... Yeah, actually, spat does give back Ox, so maybe not. Yeah, if bot plays scad, or maybe scop, actually. Though Tad is not going to go out for a lot of points. Scat, perhaps. Yeah, there's just a bunch of possible plays that we could potentially see. I'll stop speculating, and we'll just wait and see what the bot does. And we do indeed see stat, as I theorized earlier. Bot runs out of time to think after its 3-minute maximum. Actually took 3 minutes and 1 second here. Yeah, it had 15:53 and it finished with 12:52. Hey, BestBot exceeding its allotted 3 minutes. It's cheating. Nah, I'm kidding. But that's interesting. I've never seen that before. Usually it moves right on the dot at 3 minutes. Maybe a little lag or something. Who knows? Doesn't really matter. I mean, probably just Ox here, right? Or do I want to block code? Is it worth it? Let me do the math here. I have time. Alright, so Ox is 26-35. I mean, that's got to be my best point score by a mile here on this board. Sorry, Ox is 35. Code is a lot. 14, 16, 17, 19, 24, plus 11. It gets 18. Minus 7 when all is said and done with Ox or X for that matter. Okay, minus 7. If I block... I mean, like, how do I block this thing? That's the problem. Yeah, I mean, I can't even, like, block this while getting rid of my X. I just think I have to take Ox. This cannot be possibly worth it. I mean, 15, bot goes out with Doc for 11, plus 4. I mean, it gets 26. No, it's minus 22. That's way worse. Yeah, it's not even close. Yeah, I mean, I just have to play Ox here and take the points. And it's going to go out with code, right? Yep, all right. GG, 429-362, 77-point win. Yeah, like I said, guys, not the most exciting game, but we'll see how I played this one. I got off to a good start. I'm not going to worry about best bingo. I think Alertly is actually totally fine. Like I said, it's good defensively with all those overlaps. Means a lot of 7s won't play. Yeah, kind versus kinda was the discussion here. I'm fine with sacking 3 points to keep the A. I like prioritizing a good balanced leave early on. Go for another bingo, which I did get. Yeah, Daimones, Amadones, like I said, it's close. I mean, normally alternating vowels and consonants is a little bit more dangerous, actually, than not alternating. But when it's 2 vowels like this, there's just so many words, like ending in TH, that are going to fit. Here, it's a little bit awkward because, I mean, things like an R that are often the second letter in 4s that have a consonant in the second spot won't fit there. The I doesn't take all that many letters in front compared to some other vowels. I don't know. It's very hard to say which of these two gives back more, but it's a decision, like I said, that's fairly marginal. I wouldn't spend too much time on it here. Yeah, Wham a little higher in equity, no big surprise. Like I said, on this board, especially setting up Ham and Alma, I'm totally fine with this play. I think it's reasonable. And then, yeah, this was great timing because I was going to bingo and more or less end the game with Ambivert. There's just not much to do here. Wow, Vane for 7? Nah, that can't bingo enough on this board. On a wide open board where there were floating vowels maybe, but no, not here. There's no way. Yeah, I think Brave or Vat are both fine. Like I said, at this point, I'm still up a bit. I'm okay with keeping it tight, kind of forcing the bot to open. Rife. Oh, Burr is a little higher in equity. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it would have worked out a little bit better. I would have had Munyon with 3 N's. I can't know that, though. And I mean, with no R's left and 6 O's, pretty balanced pool, I think this is honestly the better play. It just didn't... when you draw N, 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 U, a lot of things backfire. And, I mean, Runny is top equity here. Wow. Yeah, there's just nothing. It's crazy how bad that rack is. Let's see here. Maybe I didn't make a perfect play. Voln. Yeah, that looks decent. Doesn't really give anything back on the bottom with the V there that can't be overlapped. No 2s with the V. So yeah, I could see Voln over Vum. I mean, ALN blank is still going to be more bingo prone. This keeps the E open, keeps the T. Yeah, I think Vum is fine. Vol is definitely worth considering, but I think honestly Vol or Vum at this point is totally reasonable just to, try to get that bingo down. The bot here passing up on Bunya and going with in-buy. Really? Saving the U, huh? I mean, I guess does this get back that much more, really? I guess ES, but I mean, ES words or bingos are still going to play after in-buy. Huh. It's a little surprising to me. I mean, I think the turnover is kind of important. The bot doesn't know I have the blank. I mean, there are 2 P's and an H left, I guess? I don't know. I mean, it's going to be basically a tie game. Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing with in-buy, okay, I guess in-buy, like, if I don't bingo, and there's far from a guarantee I'm going to bingo, right, with this pool, let's face it, Vum could keep, like, anything. I could have kept garbage, not AL and blank. And the thing with in-buy is, aside from bingos, like, it doesn't give back that much with scoring, because there's not that much that goes after an I, relative to some other vowels. And it's a little bit tricky for me to get a big overlap. So I think that's the logic here, guys, is that, alright, if I'm going to bingo, then I'm going to bingo regardless, and in-buy is at least more scoring defensive. So, alright, I could see that. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, maybe in Hales. I think I saw in Hales, I think I forgot it was 1 more point. Yeah, the I is pretty hard to bingo to. The N is a little hard to bingo to, not as hard as the H. I think cancels is still fine, honestly. 1 point is not a very large price to pay for giving back worse floaters. I might have done in Hales if I realized it was 1 more point. Cancels is still totally fine. I wouldn't really call that a mistake. It was a very conscious 1 point sacrifice. Yeah, pot not wanting to do this because then the board just gets too closed. Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. You got to set yourself up for something. Yeah, I'm sure I gave up a lot of equity here, but I, at this point, think I want to block the store hook. That's really, I mean, like I said, it's just hard to imagine losing after this, right? Like, is there even anything to the H the bot could theoretically have? There is 1 word to the H the bot could have in the pool. It's dispatch, spelled D-E-S-P-A-T-C-H. So, it's theoretically possible the bot could bingo with dispatch to the H for like 100, and depending on how the endgame goes, I could lose after this. But I still think it's the right play. I mean, that's so unlikely. Like, we're talking 1 in hundreds, if not thousands. Yeah, I mean, Pataka just loses. Empties the bag, and if somehow a bot draws something, then I'll just block. Yeah, I mean, I don't, like, what are you doing here? I mean, you're going for, oh, it's going for dispatch now. Okay. I see. See, alright, that makes sense. Because, yeah, it's going for a DE draw for dispatch. Hoping I somehow don't block the H. Yeah, I mean, sure. You're definitely grasping at straws at this point if you're the bot. Give yourself even a 1% chance, you might as well. Yeah, so there's nothing to the H here. Like I said, I didn't think there was, but I didn't want to have any stress. Just play Jeep, get this game over with. Yeah. X looks fine. Oh, Ox I. Is that better? No. It's 2 points worse because it scores so much less, and the YE only gives back 10. Code is coming down either way. Alright. Yeah, kind of a clunky game, but honestly, I think I played it pretty well. There aren't any plays I made that I definitely regret upon analysis. Vum was questionable. GIF, I think, is fine. VAT, questionable. Yeah, some tough plays, but Biro, I guess. But I think I played pretty well here, guys. Just like I said, the kind of clunky game. Thankfully, the bot didn't draw very well towards the end, and I was able to hold on and win this one pretty easily. So back within 9 now. 17 and 26 through 43. Momentum is good. I'm feeling pretty good. So hopefully we get another win on Wednesday and cut this to 8. We'll see. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate all your support as always. And I will see you in a couple days for game number 44. Bye-bye.